Hello again and welcome to another video. In this video we are going to be talking about the reflexive pronoun. Be sure to watch to the end to find out why sometimes this pronoun is going to switch from the beginning to the end of the verb. Don't forget to watch to the end. If you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to do so. Click that subscribe button, click that bell to make sure you get all the notifications, and don't forget to share with your friends. Okay, so let's dive straight in. Hello again, and here I am with the reflexive verbs. Reflexive verbs are basically reflecting at the self. They're going to describe actions that are reflecting back to the person, if you like, meaning that the person does something to themselves. For example, myself, yourself, ourselves are the words we're going to use in English. I washed myself is an example. I dressed myself. In Portuguese, to say I washed myself, we would say eu lavei-me. Eu lavei-me. Let's make this a bit bigger. Yeah. Eu lavei-me. So let's take a look at each of the pronouns. So for eu, we've got me, which means myself. Eu lavo-me. I wash myself. Tu, yourself. Tu lavas-te. Ele, ela, he, she, você, you. Se. Note how it's the same for all of these. So let's just use the ele form. Ele lava-se. If it was ela, it would also be ela lava-se. He washes, she washes. If you were going to say you, using the você, you would say você lava-se. But we often drop the você, but that's a different video. Nós is going to change to nos. Note there's no accent here. We don't say nós, it's nos. Nós lavamo-nos. Wait, that S is gone, you see? The S, we removed that. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Eles means they. Elas also means they. Eles is for a mixed group and men, and elas is just for women, a group of women only. Vocês means you all, and the reflexive part here is se, which means yourselves. Eles lavam-se. They wash themselves. So in this case, using the first parts here that mean they, it's going to be themselves. Using the vocês, which is you all, it's going to be yourselves. So me, myself. Te, yourself. Se, his self, herself, yourself. Nos, ourselves. Se, themselves, yourselves. It's kind of interesting that these two are the same. So note that in the first person, the plural, nós, the final S of the verb is dropped before adding the nos. So we don't say lavamos-nos. That's a bit weird. Lavamos-nos. We say lavamo-nos. It's smoother. Often we'll find that we make these changes just to make it flow better. The language actually flows easier when we place certain words a certain way. When to use the reflexive verbs. So the reflexive verbs are often used with words reflecting back to the self. So for example, daily routines, personal care habits, dressing oneself, washing oneself. Let's take a look at the example. Vestir-se, to get dressed or to dress oneself. Eu visto-me antes do pequeno almoço. I dress myself before breakfast. Lavar-se, to wash oneself. Ela lava-se todas as manhãs. She washes every morning. When we're describing emotions or mental states, possibly internal actions or feelings, to remember something, to forget. Lembrar-se, to remember. Nós lembramo-nos do aniversário. We remember the anniversary or the birthday. Esquecer-se, to forget. Eles esqueceram-se do compromisso. They forgot the commitment, the appointment. Accidental or unintentional actions that sometimes happen. Magoar-se, to hurt oneself. Ele magoou-se ao cair. He hurt himself upon falling. He hurt himself when he fell. Perder-se. Eu perdi-me no centro da cidade. Eu perdi-me no centro da cidade. Reciprocal actions. When two or more people do something to each other. Abraçar-se. To hug each other. Eles abraçaram-se no aeroporto. They hugged each other at the airport. So the placement of the reflexive pronouns. Generally, they're going to be placed after the verb. This is especially true in formal writing. Ela veste-se rapidamente. She dresses quickly. Ele senta-se aqui sempre. He always sits here. Exceptions and variations. So, when we have a negative sentence, the pronoun is often going to come before the verb. Here's an example. Não me lembro do nome. I don't remember the name. Vou vestir-me. I'm going to get dressed. If you're thinking about taking the SIPL exam or joining one of these PLA courses or the SIPL preparation courses, don't jump in blind. Most people underestimate just how intense these courses can be, and they feel lost. This is why I created the beginner-friendly courses to help you build the foundation that you are going to need before things get serious. If you want to feel confident walking into your SIPL prep class or your PLA class, this is the course for you. If you want to find out more, click on the link below. Now, sometimes we're going to use these verbs, but in a non-reflexive way. So what that means, for example, is the verb lembrar-se, although reflexive, we can use it in a way that's not reflexive. So lembrar-se means to remember, but lembrar can mean to remind. Sentir-se means to feel, like emotionally, like to feel sick, to feel hurt. Sentir can mean to feel, like to maybe feel something on your leg, like a bug, or to feel the wind in your hair. That's a bit more poetical. Chamar-se means to be called, but chamar is just to call, like to call an ambulance. Chamar uma ambulância. Here are some more examples using the verb chamar. So I call myself João. Basically, my name is João. Chamo-me João. We got lost in Lisbon. Perdemo-nos em Lisboa. She hurt herself. Ela magoou-se. I hurt myself. Eu magoei-me. Now, obviously, if you're onto the pronouns already, you should know your verbs quite well. If you don't know your verbs that well, you need to learn them. At the bottom of this video, I am giving away a free verb table, so be sure to get your verb table and learn your verbs. Even if you don't learn them systematically, it's always good to have the table for reference for when you need to take a look at the verbs and see how they change. They're not as hard as people think. So let's take a look at when the reflexive part is going to come before the verb. So temporal adverbs like já, already, ainda, still, sempre, always. Já. Ela já se levantou. She has got up already. This translation here is not nice. She's got up already. She's up, we would say in English. She's already up. Ainda. Eu ainda me lembro daquele dia. Eu ainda me lembro daquele dia. I still remember that day. Sempre. Nós sempre nos ajudamos. We always help each other. Negative words. Não. Eu não me sinto bem. Eu não me sinto bem. Nunca. Ela nunca se queixa. Ela nunca se queixa. She never complains. Jamais. Eles jamais Eles jamais se esquecerão disso. Eles jamais se esquecerão disso. Let's do that again. Jamais. Eles jamais se esquecerão disso. They will never forget that. Indefinite pronouns, which are somebody, nobody. Alguém. It's a good word, this. Alguém. Alguém se enganou. Someone made a mistake. This might be good if you get a bill that you have to check because maybe they've made a mistake and you can take it back and say, desculpe, alguém se enganou. Ninguém. Nobody, no one. Ninguém se magoou. No one got hurt. Conjunctions. Que and porque. É importante que te lembres disso. É importante que te lembres disso. It's important that you remember that. Now, this is a bit difficult because some of you may recognize this as being a subjunctive, which we can get quite often in the conjunctions. Porque, because. Porque se atrasou, perdeu o comboio. Perdeu o comboio porque se atrasou. Because he was late, he missed the train, or he missed the train because he was late. Additive adverbs, also, only. Também, só. Nós também nos divertimos muito. Nós também nos divertimos muito. Só. Só se preocupam com o dinheiro. Só se preocupam com o dinheiro. So what's the difference between the Brazilian Portuguese and the European Portuguese? Well, in Brazilian Portuguese, we always place the verb after the pronoun, or rather, we always place the pronoun, the reflexive pronoun, before the verb. And this makes it a lot easier in many ways. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and share, and don't forget to subscribe so that you get the notifications. The next videos coming up are going to be the pronouns that we use for the direct pronouns and the indirect pronouns. So don't forget to look out for these videos. Don't forget to share with your friends, and don't forget to get your verb list. See you next time.